So there's been a lot of buzz recently around this new tool called InvestorLift. And in this video, I'm going to deep dive exactly what InvestorLift is and how you can utilize it. But for those of you who aren't familiar with it already, it's essentially a disposition software that helps wholesalers sell their deals. Now, during this video, if you want to sign up for InvestorLift and give it a shot, click the link in the description below and use the code JacobSimpsonVIP for 10% off. But let's go ahead and jump right into this. Now, one thing I do want to point out is you can utilize InvestorLift as an acquisitions tool as well. If you notice over here on the left, you'll see leads. And then right here, you'll see new lead. This is really for people who are utilizing like PPC through InvestorLift, but the majority of this platform is based on the disposition side of the business. So once you sign in, you're going to see your dashboard. And obviously, you can change the time period here. You can change the dates right here as well. And then if you have multiple people in your business, you can change the user right here also. So this is just going to show you a high level overview of your metrics. So you can see any new deals you've added, offers, accepted offers, your assignment fee, the average assignment fee size. You can see buyer metrics, like how many new buyers joined your list, how many unsubscribed, and then the difference. And then your email metrics, right? Like how many did you send, how many were delivered, how many were opened, etc. So from here, jumping into users, it's pretty straightforward. This is where you can add new users. If you come over here to create user and select roles, right, you can, add someone as an admin, as an AC manager, or as a dispo manager. Again, I don't use this for leads, so I don't have any leads going on in here, but this is where any leads would show up from PPC. And then jumping into God mode, this is essentially how you scrub tax records using the platform, right? So let's go ahead and just throw a random address in here. So you would put the address in, and then you can select distance, ARV, beds, baths, square footage, sale date, all of that good stuff, right? Now, iBuyers is going to be, like it says right there, Open Door, Redfin, OfferPad, any of those big hedge fund-like companies, right? So if you don't want them to pop up, you can hit off, or if you do want them to pop up, you can select it on. Now from here, let's say we don't want properties going all the way back to like 1995 to show up. So maybe we just want properties going back to, August 1st. Click down here and we hit update results. And it's going to show us a map with some properties, right? So we can see a bunch of numbers here, and then we see our actual subject address right there. So if we scroll down, it's going to give us kind of an average purchase price of these properties, an average sale price, and an average hold time. And if we keep scrolling down, this is where we're going to find all of our buyer information, right? So right here, we see the address that was flipped. And then under it, we see the actual entity that flipped it. We see the address of the entity. And then over here to the right, we have a bunch of phone numbers. Now you can see these ones are all grayed out and they have like a check mark and then an X mark next to it. So these are potential numbers that you could reach out to. And then if one is actually the owner, you can come over here and hit validate number. And then similarly, if you come down here, you see how these ones are already green. So they've been validated, and then everything under it has not been validated yet. So I would call one of these green ones if you were trying to get a hold of this buyer right here. Again, you got some other information over here on the right, like purchase price, sales price, gross profit, ARV percentage, buyer score, all that good stuff. Now, buyer score is going to be based on a number of different factors. So pretty much InvestorLift ranks their buyers based on how many address requests they've done, how many offers they've made, how many properties they've bought. I don't know exactly all of the categories that go into ranking, but they do have a buyer score to let you know, like, hey, these are solid buyers, or hey, we don't know about them. And then from there, if you wanted to, you can click on, you could click on this and fill out some other information if you wanted to as well. Like I said, keep scrolling. You have all this information about all the other properties. We could give any of them a call if we wanted to. And that's how we go about using God mode. And then if we go down into analytics, this is going to show us a real high level overview of, what's going on in the state, county, the country, right? So we can do flip by state or flip volume by state, flip volume by county. So, you know, we see Florida is at the top right here. If we jump into, like, let's see, flip volume by county, right? We can see Maricopa's at the top right here. We can also do sale quarter. So let's say we wanted to do Q3 2022, right? It's going to shrink that down as well. So we have a lot of, you know, really good information that can help us target new markets. If we jump down into properties, this is going to be where all of your properties are stored. If we want to add a new property, this is what it looks like. So we would go ahead and do create, and it would give us all this information. We would be able to put a title. Now, I'm only going to create a test one, and then I'm going to delete it. I'm just doing this for example purposes only. So for instance, let's say you wanted to put the address in the top right here. All you would do is come over here as well, throw the address in there. It auto populates everything from bed, bath, square footage. So you just want to make sure that's all accurate. You can come over here to parking. Let's say it has a carport. Property type, let's say it's a single family. That's good. That's good. Let's say we're asking, you know, 350,000. If someone wants to buy it right now, instead of doing bid, we can do 360,000. Let's say we're asking for a $5,000 EMD. I'm the property manager. And then let's say we are purchasing this property at 300,000 and the ARV is 550. You could also put the seller name for internal purposes only, right? So if this came from John Doe, now keep in mind, this isn't going to show up on your actual listing. This is just going to show for internal purposes. Acquisition ratification date. Let's say we got this locked up today. So we could do the 22nd and then accepting offers until the 31st, right? Then all we do is come right here and we hit create property. So it's going to create this property. And then we would want to add some photos. Let me just try to grab a photo real quick. All right. So once you have your photo uploaded, you just want to select main image. If you have multiple, let's say for instance, you know, you have two images up here. I'll just do the same one. You want to make sure you have one selected as main image, or else it won't let you send out the property. So from here, you know, we come over here to property, and we'll want to come right here to available, and then we'll come down here to save property. Now it's going to have this little pop-up, you know, right here that says, do we want to prepare our notifications? Right now I'm just going to hit close, but this is how you would send out emails, and I'll go over that in a second. But we'll just close that. And then a couple things. So you could come over here to hot buyers, and you can see all the hot buyers in your area. If you click on it, you can see all of the buyers that it's associated with, and you can give them a call. Or you can come over here to God mode, and it's going to bring up God mode for you, but for that actual property, instead of you having to go over to this God mode feature. Similarly, if we come over here to property, I don't know why I said similarly, but if we come over here to property, we can hit view published deal. So we'll actually pull this deal up right here, right? And we can see all of our information that we just uploaded. And then if we hit share on Facebook, we can post it to our Facebook. And if we hit send notifications, it's going to pull up our email. So from here, we can do either a new deal notification or a price reduction notification. You can send a test one to yourself to see what it looks like. But if you hit send new deal notifications, that's not actually going to send anything yet. It's just going to bring you to this screen. So from here, you can either send it out to just your buyers list, or if you have one of the higher levels of InvestorLift, you can send it out to what's called cartel mode. And that's either a buyers list of 1 million or 4.3 million or something like that buyers. And again, it's going to depend on how much you're paying for it, right? So what we would want to do is we can either send it to all, VIP, or only vetted. If we wanted to exclude anything, like let's say we wanted to exclude realtors or wholesalers, we could do that. If you wanted to send it to only a certain type of buyer, like fix and flips or buys now, you can do that as well. And then add your geotags. This is where you would add any of your states, right? Or counties or cities or anything like that. So for instance, we have Duval County. So let's say we would select Duval County. And then if we came over here to this little map icon, we can also, select areas surrounding Duval, right? So, if we hit St. Johns County over here, it's going to, map out St. Johns as well. If we hit Clay County, it's going to select the Clay County areas also. So if we go back to filters, it will take us back here. Now, if you see right here, it's saying only send to 109. So that's just off of my personal buyers list, right? If we wanted to send it to the cartel mode buyers list, again, this is depending on what version you have or level plan you have. We would come up here and we would hit cartel mode. And this would take our 109 to over 7,000. Now, the reason you're seeing that over 7,000 is because if you see right here, we can only send out 25,000 at once, or excuse me, we can only send out 25,000 for a certain property, and we can only send out 7,000 at once. So the email blast can only be around 7,000 emails. So what we need to do is essentially bring this score down to where it's right at about 7,000 or a little bit less. So what was we would just drag this. Okay, we're at 5,000. We would want to try to get it as close to 7,000 as possible. And then let's say this was at like 6,700. We would just hit send. Now, the beauty is this won't let you send to the same people right after you sent it to them already, right? So once you hit send, you'll just want to, put Duval County back in there and then play with the score and try to get it to where you can send it to everyone. So the ideal situation is you're trying to get it down to like 2 emails left or 3 emails left. And just know that you can't resend it to the same person. Again, if you have to narrow it down and it's just too big, you can also throw in, these tags as well. And then once you hit send, it will shoot out an email and it will, whoops, my camera died. Let me switch that over for us. There we go. So once we hit send, it will send out that email and then, everyone will start replying to that email. And hopefully you'll start selling some deals. So once people start requesting about the email or the address request or anything like that, it will pop up here an address request. So it will show anyone who's requesting the address, anyone who's submitting an offer on your website. It will show up in the offer section as well. Again, you can come over here to address request, or property inquiries and click on one of those also. And then inquiries is right here too. And then up here, it will show you all of your metrics, right? How many did you send? How many were opened? How many clicks? How many spam? All that good stuff. And then also, if you decided that you wanted to set up SMS, you could also do SMS as well. And you can do it this way. I don't have it set up, but you can send out SMS as well. All right. And then from there, if we go into buyers, this is going to show us our buyers list. Now you can import your own buyers in there whenever someone requests an address from you or reaches out to you on your website, like they'll pop up in your buyers list as well. And so this is going to be your buyers list. This is where you can search your buyers, you can search tags, all of that good stuff. Now, if you have a higher version of InvestorLift than just the base plan, you can come up here and hit cartel mode and you'll see access to, whatever level plan you have in regards to those buyers. So if you have, I think it's the enterprise version, you'll see 1 million. And if you have cartel mode, you'll see like 4.3 million buyers. Again, if we click on offers, we're going to see all of the offers that people made. I personally like to just go into the property section and look at, offers this way because I can see it easier. Again, to each his own. We have title companies. So this is going to be all of the title companies that other wholesalers have added into the system. And then any messages, if you're text messaging people, anything like that. Settings, of course, community, all of that. So that's pretty much a very high level overview of InvestorLift. One more thing is if we do go to InvestorLift.com, we can kind of see our deals will be put on here as well as our own website. So you can get an idea of, where your property will be popping up at if you do list it on InvestorLift. And again, if you just click into it, it's going to show all of that property detail. We see our guy, Trevor Wilcox, down here. Shout out to Trevor. Don't really know him, but let's get his deal sold. But yeah, you can see all of this good information. It just shares everything. Again, if you do want to test this out and you want to give it a shot, feel free to hit the link in the description below and use the code Jacob Simpson VIP for 10% off. I appreciate you all for making it this far in the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave some comments, and I will see you all in the next one.